Hey guys, it's Gary. Unsecured debt's going to be our topic for our legal tip today. First of all, I have been a little bit slack on getting some of these legal tips out over the last couple of weeks. I apologize. Been working on two big things, with one being the real estate commission. We've had a couple of subcommittees I've been serving on. One is the education, trying to come up with some new educational things for you. One being the finance committee, so that's taking a lot of time this summer. The other thing I've been working on is the installment method. As y'all know, we've come up with a new platform for investors that I think gets rid of wholesaling and moves everybody over to a better, more legal and ethical platform. We've actually come up with a second version. We now have the Premier platform, and now we have I believe we call it the Select platform, which I think that real estate agents would probably be more inclined to look at the Select, but it teaches you how to work with investors legally and ethically. And the rationale behind it is that most homeowners are going to do a closing once every 8 years with you, but an investor can do one or two deals every single month with you. So if we can figure out a way to legally and ethically work with investors and embrace them instead of them doing things rogue and against real estate agents, I think there's a good opportunity to increase your commissions and your listings there. So take a look at it. It's a new program. I'm going to actually do a webinar in a couple of weeks, and I'll invite all of y'all to that webinar, and y'all come for free just to see what we're talking about, to see if y'all think it's something that would work for you guys. I believe it's going to be something really cool, because I think there is a big thing we're missing there, working with investors. Problem is they're not doing it legally and ethically when they're doing it as wholesalers. So let's get them out of wholesaling and get them into some platform that works. And then y'all can benefit by making a lot of commissions, and they can benefit by making more money. So it could be a win-win. All right. The unsecured debt, I promise I'll get more legal tips out for you, but this unsecured debt issue that I want to talk about is, as the economy goes crazy, what we're seeing is more and more lenders are requiring us to pay off unsecured debt at closing. What the unsecured debt typically is typically going to be credit card bills. And it's causing a problem. And the reason it's causing a problem is that your client will give us a handwritten piece of paper with account numbers on it and some addresses. And what happens is when we send the checks off to these companies, they don't apply the checks. They don't know what to do with them. Sometimes they send them back to us because it doesn't have a statement with it. So the reason it's an issue for you, that's the reason it's an issue for the closing attorneys. The reason it's an issue for you guys is that when that does not get applied to the account, they immediately call you arguing, complaining that the closing attorney didn't make the payments and now their credit card's late or whatever. And then you're getting involved and you're having to call back and forth to find, we have to go find the check hasn't cleared and the fact it's not payment. And it's just a big mess. So whenever you're in a situation where you're seeing that the lender is requiring unsecured debt, go ahead and start talking with your client, not before the closing, but early in the transaction. Ask them. I mean, it's one of those things you can show your true value is saying, when they are in the first 10 days of this transaction and they're applying for the loan and they're going through underwriting, you can go ahead and tell them, look, if your lender is going to require you to pay credit card debt off as part of this transaction, go ahead and save those credit card statements from your last statement or the one that's coming in the mail. During that 30-day period of the time they sign the contract and the time we close, they should receive a bill. But what's happening is the credit card companies, the lender and them are working on it the day before closing or 2 days before closing. And so I'm having to go to the buyer and say, we need your credit card information. Well, I threw that receipt away, or I threw that bill away, and I don't have another one coming for 2 weeks. But here's it is written in hand. And of course, it's always wrong. The account number is wrong. The address is wrong. We're sending it to the wrong place, and it's a complete mess. So help your client, show them added value. So when you're working with your client, it kind of goes back to the podcast a couple of weeks ago about mortgage planning. This is part of mortgage planning. Show your clients value by telling your clients, I'm going to work with you here. If your lender is going to require credit card debt, you need to go ahead and save those credit card receipts. If you're not sure, go ahead and save those credit card bills because the lender may need them. And that'll help out a lot. All right. If you have any questions, give me a buzz. More legal tips coming every week. Y'all take care.